Alright, today here we have the volume of, or we are going to be calculating the volume of a cone. That's our goal for today. Um, it is very similar to calculating the volume of a sphere, or not a sphere, of a cylinder. So we're just adding one step to what we did yesterday. So the volume of a cone will always be 1/3 the volume of a cylinder with the same height and radius. It's always going to be that. So you're always going to either multiply the volume of the cylinder by 1/3 or divide it by 3. So our formula for the volume of a cone is V equals 1/3 the area of our base times our height, or V equals our area of our base height over 3. Now, since the base of a cone is always a circle, that base height is pi r squared. That base formula is pi r squared. Since the base of the cone is a circle, B is found using pi r squared. So our actual formula for volume is V is equal to 1/3 of pi r squared times the height. Over here is the same thing. V is equal to 1/3 pi r squared times the height. That's not what I want to do. So the other way you could write this is pi r squared times the height over 3. Either way, it's the same formula. It's just written a different way. Our next one here is to just find the volume of a cone. So again, we write that formula down. 1/3 of pi r squared times the height. The first thing I look at is, do I have r? In this case, I do not have r. I have the diameter. So I have to divide the diameter by 2 to get r. So then r would equal, in this case, 11. So I have 1/3 of pi times 11 squared times 10. If you're doing this in a blue calculator, you may need to divide this section here by 3 instead of multiplying it by 1/3, because you don't have the calculator multiplied by 1/3. 11 times 11 is 121. When you multiply all of that out, or 121 times 10 would be, so you get 1/3 times pi r squared, and r squared in this case is 11 times 10. So you get 121 times 10 times pi times 1/3 is pi times 1,121, or 1,210 times pi times 1/3, or divided by 3. Remember, we use 3.14 for pi. 3.14 times 1,210 you get 1,210 times 3.14 is equal to 3,799.4, And if you divide that by 3 or multiply it by 1/3, you get 1,266.46. Again, so we get, and it's actually 4/6 repeating. 2,066.46 repeating. Alright, our next one, we're going to write the formula first. 1/3 times pi times r squared times height. I got a lot of people asking me yesterday, how do I know which one's my radius and which one's my height? In a lot of these, it says the radius or the diameter equals, but the way you notice which one is which is look at where it forms a circle, because you're trying to find the area of the circle. So you gotta, that's where your radius is gonna be, is inside the circle. So we have 1/3 times pi times 5 squared times 12. When I multiply that all out, it's 12. When we multiply that all out, I get 314.16. So when you multiply that all out, that is what you get. Alright, go ahead and try this one on your own. The formula is 1/3 times pi r squared times the height. Alright, now we have some word problems. The cone has a diameter of 12. So the diameter is 12 and has a slant height of 10. Remember, what we learned last unit is the slant height isn't the straight up and down height. It is this one here. It is 10 there. So to find the volume, we have got to have this one here. So we first have to do our a squared plus b squared equals c squared to find this one here, which in this case it is b. So we have an a. I have 12 squared, or it wouldn't be 12 squared. That is our diameter. So we are trying to find our radius here. So it would actually be r would be equal to 6. So our radius, or our part of our b, or our a here, is actually 6 is equal to b. So our not b, a. That's our a. So we have not 12 squared. We have 6 squared plus b squared is equal to c squared, or 36 plus b squared is equal to 100. And then you subtract, b squared is equal to 64. The square root of 64 is equal to b, so b would be equal to 8. So now you have your height here, your radius here. You can do our volume, because remember, our instructions or our question wasn't to find the height, but was to find the volume. So now that we have our height, we can find 1/3 of pi r squared times our height. When we fill that formula out, we have 1/3 times pi times 6 squared times 8. We get 36 times 8 times pi times 1/3. (36 times 8 is 288 times pi times 1/3 is equal to 301.6. So your total volume would be units cubed. It would be 301.6 units cubed. So we have here that Isabella has constructed a cylinder vase that is the volume of 63. So Isabella has a cylinder here that is 63. The volume equals 63 of. Jason constructed a cone that is the same height and has the same radius. And you gotta just bear with my drawing of a cone. What is the volume of Jason's cone? So if we know the volume of the cylinder, remember, 1/3 of your cylinder is equal to your cone. Your cone. And I'm just going to use CY here for cylinder. So we can do 1/3 of 63 is equal to Jason's cone. So all we have to do there is divide 63 by 3. 63 divided by 3, or multiply it by 1/3, and you get that the cone volume is 21. And that's all you had to do for that one. All right, this one says a cone has a volume of 300 units. The cylinder has the volume of 100. Is it possible that the cylinder and the cone have the same height and radius? So think, the cylinder is 3 times the cone. So it would be the cylinder times 3 equals the cone. Does it equal that, or why not? Is it backwards? That's what question you're answering here. And then this is a cone of a volume, has a volume of 942 inches and a height of 9. What's the radius? So you have to plug that into our formula. Our formula is volume equals 1/3 times pi r squared times our height. So we have volume equals 1/3 times 3.14 times r squared times 9. And then you combine your like terms and you solve for r squared. Go ahead and give that one a try. If you need help, come to my back table.